true confidence coming from a place of embracing your imperfection, because perfection is an illusion, right? None of us are perfect. A lot of us have done things that we're not proud of, and it's okay. You know, when we learn how to embrace the part of us that's not perfect, is when true confidence can come into the surface. In my humble opinion, I believe that to build a true confidence, you need to confront your shadow self. Okay, Barbara, what is that? What is the shadow self? The shadow self is part of us that we feel guilt, ashamed, that we normally don't like to look, we don't like to confront, because it's you avoid looking at that, because like is the part of you that is ugly. And I say the shadow self can those parts can be based on childhood, you know, your upbringing, things that happen to you, that you are then got this behavior from the way you were raised, you know, from your upbringing. Because let's be honest, if your parents haven't screwed you, someone someone for sure have, you know. And then we build a certain patterns of behaving and traits, and that kind of become our personality. But when I say become our personality, it doesn't mean it's not changeable, right? Because we all have the ability to change. Even if you have the most horrible childhood, even if you have the most horrible experience, like in your early life, you can make a conscious decision to say, I don't want to be like that. I don't want to be my parents. I don't want to be those experience that, you know, kind of like shape me in a way. I have the power to change those things. But unfortunately, a lot of us, we don't do that, because to confront those things is extremely painful. And a lot of us don't like to look at things that we suffered back then that was extremely painful, right? A lot of us just like, I want to block it, but it's still there. Like those things that happen, in either that your parents did, or you went through in school, or with a friend, with a neighbor, whatever that happened that made you, right? Whatever experience that you went through shape you in this way. It had this side of you. It's still there. It's still you. And the things that we have learned from years and years and years, you know, that could be traumatic, right? Either being through bullying in school, even if you have amazing, caring, and well put together parents. And there are parents that, yeah, they try their best, but the best unfortunately cause a lot of trauma too. And their parents are just fucked up and they just screw you over, right? As put in that way. But things that we have within ourselves that is deeper to our core, that is just like, why I act in this way? And sometimes you act in a certain way and you don't even know it's based there. You know, you're like, oh, I act like this with my kid, I act like this with my partner, I act like this at work with my friend, with whoever. Why am I like this? I don't like this part of me, right? But we avoid, instead of asking question, why I am like this, what is wrong with me? When I say wrong with me, I don't believe anybody is like inherently bad or good or things like that. You know, things happen to us, and there's nothing broken, like physically broken about us. What is broken is like learning patterns that we throughout the years, you know, living with someone, being raised by someone, or experience that we had, that make a certain aspect of us a bit broken, right? But it's fixable if we want to. But I think the reason why a lot of us don't fix that is because we constantly some of us, right, in this victim mode, and it's never our fault, it's always somebody else's fault. Therefore we go out in the world like, oh, it's that person's fault, this, instead of like, okay, I know there is a side of me that I don't like, and I know I act in a certain way. How can I ask a question of why? When we ask question, why am I in a certain way, that's when it opened the space for us to truly confront our shadow self. And when we truly put ourselves to see those parts of us that is ugly, because it's not pretty and it's difficult to confront the shadow self. It's really difficult. I'm saying that because I have worked on that and I still do. I have done many years of therapy to confront those side of me that was based in childhood, and therefore I was displaying behavior and going through things that I did not like it, and it took time. It took a long time. And because I was going through a lot of, and I was displaying repetitive behavior over and over and again, I'm getting sick and tired of it. I'm like, okay, I need to do something about it because I don't like it, and it's caused a lot of damage in my life. It's caused a lot of chaos around me, or I'm ending up in situations that I don't like it, and to do those things can be extremely lonely place. It's very triggering, and in my opinion, I think when people decided to confront those elements, to confront those the side of us that's not so good, you need someone to guide you. I went and I did a therapy, and it was one of the most amazing things that I have done in my life, because I confront things about me. I also start to understand, okay, I get where this is coming from. I don't want to be like that, because my upbringing doesn't define who I am. I have the key, I have the tools to make change, and that's okay. Because that's the thing. What happened to you in childhood, the way that you were raised, you can make changes. You can say, you know what, yes, this is how I was raised. Back then I did not have the power. Now I do, because now I'm an adult. I can actually take care of my inner child and heal that inner child and say, you know what, I have your back, you are with me now. Hold the hand and move it forward. But it takes time. And when I did those things, I started building true confidence, because before, like, yeah, I'm very confident, but actually I wasn't really that confident. And I will be honest, there are elements in my life that I am not confident at all. I'm still learning. I'm like asking questions. Okay, what part of this was based on the way that I was brought up? How can I change it? And if I need therapy, I'll go to therapy. I have no problem with that, because when I go to therapy, I learn a lot about myself. I become a better person, and then I see the world around me in a more positive way, instead of like everybody's out there to screw me over, because that is another thing that can happen when you don't confront that side of the side of you. Don't ask question about why am I in this way, and then I want to confront this. It's all about somebody else, never about us. Everything's wrong with somebody else, never wrong with us, right? And therefore you never operate from a true confident side, because you hurt, because you coming from a place of like, your confidence is more like prickly and coming from an egotistic way, instead of like a loving, compassion and caring way, and a true understanding of who you are and the behavior that you display, where it comes from. I have to say, when you do confront your shadow self, when you put yourself to look inwards, not outwards, don't look out there, look here, that will be scary, painful, but oh my God, when you reach the other side, it will give you a sense of empowerment. Because with, when you confront that, when you reach that level, it's a lot of power that come with, it's a lot of strength that give it to you, it's a lot of an energy that you build. Because if you were the type of person that before you let people walk all over you, that you cross everybody's boundary because you don't know your boundaries, and you end up in situation that's not ideal, you will learn aspects of you that make you you, and you have a huge amount of power, because now you set boundaries, now you are assertive, now you know who you are, what you want, and where you are and where you want to be, right? And it's the most beautiful thing anybody can do. We can live our life saying, oh, I'm miserable because of my neighbor, I'm miserable because of my partner, I'm unhappy because of this. You can live your life blaming other people when actually the fault is only yours. We all have the power to change anything from inside. And in my opinion, that's when true confidence comes from. That, I think that's the number one, is to confront your shadow self. Because when you confront your shadow self, you learn where those behavior that you hate so much about you, that you don't like so much about you, is coming from. Then you take a charge. You are in charge of that, and you can make it change. And therefore empowerment comes, and then true confidence comes from that. The second thing is to accept that failure is part of life. We all have been through a situation or a thing that we fail. Failure is there to help us to grow, to help us to evolve. It's not how you fall, it's how you get up. And if you fail, learn from it and keep it moving, right? That's things. Number two, live in the present moment. A lot of us live in the past. The past is not here anymore. I can't physically remove myself from here and go back in the past. And yet a lot of us just ruminate. The situation is not even here anymore. If you decide the past is not here, it's not here, because the past is just a memory that we keep going back and back to torture us. And that's something that I'm learning. I'm still learning, because I have a habit sometimes of being stuck in the past. 10 years ago something happened, I'm like, this is causing me a lot of pain. My life is totally different. That's something that I'm still working on. And because I realize I don't want to be stuck in the past when life is happening just underneath my eyes, right? And then I'm practicing more mindfulness. I show gratitude. That's something that I've always done, but mindfulness is something that I'm actively putting myself to do. And every time I see things that when I'm upset, I'm like, I'll go back in the past, no, I'm not there anymore. I don't want to go there. It's not just suppress it. Sometimes I let the thought come, and then I ask myself, is that of any use to me right now? Why this is there? I don't want that. If there is no use, if enough for me to learn to not repeat the same mistake, then I just let it go. That's something I'm actively doing currently. And practicing more mindfulness, and confront the side of you. See your shadow self, that is the part that we spoke a few minutes ago, and the good side, as the bacteria in the body. We have good bacteria and we have bad bacteria, right? When they're out of balance is when we have disease, we have flu. The same thing is with our energies, with our light and darker side. If we bring them together to be in harmony, it can be the most powerful and beautiful things. And the problem is when it's out of balance, and we go in a world either be super nice, and which I don't really believe that everybody's super nice all the time, or being that's when chaos comes. That's when you are unhappy. That's when you are in situation that you either being the toxic person, or either you are letting people being toxic towards you. But when you learn about where you came from, where you are, and where you want to be, and you just give yourself the time to work on those traumas, because I think a lot of these things coming from traumas, like what we spoke a few minutes ago, whether from your parents, whether from experience, your early experience or late experience, or first boyfriend, girlfriend, you name it, right? But embrace that. Just look at yourself as anything here can be changed, and sometimes we live in the entrapment of our mind. Our mind can be our worst enemy. It can be the thing that really stop us from being truly confident and happy, because we get stuck in that. And but that's something words to truly look at both parts that make you the beautiful you learn so much. When you sit in darkness is when you find the light. Don't be scared of going there, because confront the shadow self can feel pretty much like you're going through darkness, you're going through pain, and sometimes can be excruciating pain. You know, you bump your head and you are in this really reality, but also can be the most amazing things once you're out of that, you know. And be compassionate to yourself when you're going through that, and also be compassionate towards others, and forgive yourself and others, because in certain situations when you want to confront your shadow self, you you probably gonna feel resentful towards a lot of people, and I did. It was a lot of resentment towards my parents, you know, because yeah, the shit was coming from that. But then later, and I'm not saying it was easy, because it was a lot of anger, it was a lot of like judgment, it was a lot of like you know, rage. But with time, I let that go. I forgave them, and I made peace with myself and with them, you know. And but also allow yourself time to go through rage, to go through anger, to go through resentment. Just feel it all, because when you feel it all, you're not bottling up, you're not pretending, you will really confront that aspect of you. And then when you come out, it's gonna be like this ball of sunshine, and then you're gonna be fine, and then you're gonna feel a lot better about yourself, a lot more confident, all confident, you know. And you building this confidence from a place of honesty, from a place of understanding who you are, from a place of understanding who other people is, from a place of like kindness, from a place of forgiveness and compassion, and a place of honesty, more than anything, honesty with yourself, kindness towards yourself, self-love and self-understanding, and patient. Yeah, stick there and understand. True confidence coming from a place of genuinely understand who you are, is from a place of embracing your imperfections, because your imperfection is what makes you perfect, you know. Is to living in harmony from the light and the dark that exists within all of us. The only thing is we just need to balance it those side and operate in harmony, right? And don't judge yourself, because when you judge yourself, you judge others, and when you judge others, others judge you. But practice self-love, you know. If you need help, it's nothing wrong about going through therapy. Therapy is the most amazing thing anybody can do. It gives you power, it gives you strength, it gives you something that I can't describe, you know. It makes you feel amazing, because it helps you to identify things that probably on your own you'd never do it. Remember, confidence is something that is like a building block, you know. It's one by one will always be something in your life, certain aspects of your life that you're probably not gonna be confident now, and other aspects of your life that you are confident. And if you are a type of person that you feel like I am not confident at all, it's okay. Looking for someone who can help you, you know, because sometimes I don't know, sometimes we feel a lot, you want to be confident, you feel you're confident here, but out there you're not, you know. And it's okay, you will reach a time when you really want to do it. Look for help. Therapists are there to help you. There's nothing wrong about asking for help, and start building the building blocks to then reach that stage of being confident. Bye. I hope you liked the video.